Howdy guys, it's Joe here, and here we are for the second part of the top 5 skill cap list. Of course, last time I did the top 5 highest skill cap heroes, and you can press on your screen or press on the card right now to go to that video. And today I'm going to be talking about the top 5 lowest skill caps. Now, I did, of course, in the last video tell you what skill cap really meant. It doesn't mean how good a character is or really how often they're played. It means how much time you have to put into the character to be getting a higher win rate than the average player. That's just about it. But yeah, I just wanted to go over these, of course, because I already went over the top 5 highest, and yeah, let's just get started. So to begin, we do have actually Deva as our number 5 character, and this was a character that I was not really expecting. I was more over, expecting someone like maybe Winston, maybe even a Reinhardt, just shields a little bit more often, but it turns out Deva actually takes less time to get a higher win rate than, playing Reinhardt or playing someone like Winston, which is, kind of surprising. Now, as far as Deva, I guess that she isn't really the hardest character to play in the game, but I do think that she has quite a few really cool things that she can do. First off, you can get pretty good as her and stay on control point maps for a really long amount of time. You can know when to go in, when to go out on payload type maps. There's quite a bit of stuff that you can actually do to become a little bit better at this character, but I guess that honestly it doesn't take way too long to do that in the first place. But I don't really know. I feel like Deva was a bit of a surprise here, at least for myself. Okay, so here's the number 4 spot, and you're actually probably going to be seeing a pattern pretty soon. A lot of the characters that aren't really thought of as way too good also happen to be not very high skill cap. Maybe there's a correlation, maybe there's not, maybe it's just completely random, but we're starting it off, at least with this kind of, correlation, with number 4, which is actually Symetra. And Symetra is a character that, I feel like she's always been kind of hard to play, honestly, just because she hasn't really ever been way too good. Of course, for like 1 or 2 patches she was a bit overpowered, like in the beta, but after that she's always not really been way too good, and I feel like it does take quite a bit of time to actually get okay to learn how to play this character. But I guess to increase your win rate past the normal level of Symetra, it doesn't take way too much time. You don't have to put in way too many hours to become, a better Symetra player. But it's a little bit hard to gauge because, Symetra isn't the best right now. She has some really gaping flaws about her. But it does seem like she's in the number 4 spot, which I could kind of see coming, but didn't see her being all the way down here. Now, actually, for the 3rd spot, it's someone that I really wasn't expecting at all, and that actually happens to be an offense character, known as Reaper. And Reaper was someone that I just did not really see coming. Of course, with Reaper, I guess when you think about it a little bit, it doesn't really take way too much skill cap. Mainly what you have to learn about this guy, well, you don't really have to get good at aiming or anything, you can pretty much just shoot at them and they die. But what you really have to learn about this guy is where to position, and when to go for your ultimates, when to, wraith form out. But it doesn't take way too much time to become, a little bit better than the average Reaper, and that's essentially what this means. To become better than average, you don't have to put in way too much time. So with that though, I feel like Reaper is always a very strong character, and I'm actually kind of glad that there's an offense hero that's a little bit easier, and especially an offense hero that's really good against the tanks, because what this means is that you can put in a little bit of time, get decent as Reaper, and then be very useful for your team against tanks, which is something that I was really appreciating. It'd be kind of annoying, if Reaper was one of these characters that was super hard to play, that you had to put in a lot of time versus, as he's someone that you need a lot of team comps versus tanks, and a lot of times people just won't learn all the offense characters, so it's kind of nice that there's this one character that is good versus the meta right now, good versus a lot of the characters in the game, but doesn't take way too much time to learn in the first place, or at least to become better than average with. Now, as far as the 2nd place, it actually goes to the character of Torbjorn. And yeah, I feel like some people are going to be like, yo, I called it was going to be Torb. Torb is so easy, takes no skill. But I feel like the thing that really just kind of puts Torbjorn in this spot is that he is pretty stinking reliant on his turret. You pretty much just have to place down your turret, and really the only ways you can improve massively as Torbjorn is just really knowing where to place down your turret and knowing how to protect it a little bit better. As well with that, you do have to learn how to aim quite a bit, and if you can get some of those really nice projectile aim clicks and just headshot their support twice, that could be nice. But to become just better than average, you just have to learn the spots for your turret, and as well with that, you just have to kind of get good at knowing when to right or left click. But other than that, I don't really feel like there's way too much to really learn of this character. Still, that's not saying that he's a bad character at all. He does really have his places in certain maps, but it does seem that you really just have to learn where he has to be in order to become very effective as him, or at least more effective than the average person. And here, finally, for the number 1 spot, we do have Bastion, and I can just hear the comments flooded in. I called Bastion. I knew he was going to be the lowest skill cap hero. I know you wouldn't have to put too much time into him, and if you did call that, of course, just leave that down below. But yeah, Bastion does seem to be here, and now, while he is the butt of a lot of jokes saying that he's really easy, I do feel like there is a main reason why he is here. And that's mainly because there's really not way too much you can learn as Bastion, way too much you can really improve as Bastion. You mainly just have to, you know, get kind of good at aiming, get knowing where to aim, as well with that, just kind of know where to plant your body, and once you have those two things really down, you're really good. That's all you can do. You don't really have way too much outplay potential, and you pretty much just have to focus on having yourself work really well with your team. And yeah, I feel like Bastion is definitely a character that has more team skill cap than, you know, solo player skill cap. When you're playing Bastion by yourself with no help, there's really not that much you can do to become a better Bastion player than other Bastion players, and it seems like this really does show up right here. You don't have to put in way too much time, and if you just put in a little bit of time, you will at least become a bit better than the average person. It doesn't take way too much, and you can improve your skill rate pretty quickly. The nice thing about that is, of course, you can improve your skill cap really fast. You can become a very bad Bastion to a very, you know, good or decent Bastion pretty quickly, and you become kind of usable. I've even used this in myself a little bit. I really haven't played much Bastion in the past, but because he's really not way too hard, and you mainly just have to know, you know, where to plant yourself and what team comp to use. I've been having okay success with him. You know, you play with a Reinhardt, you play with a Deva, and a Zarya, all protecting you while your offense Bastion on the cart. You can cheese a little bit, get a few kills, get, you know, like halfway through the map, and then once you die, you switch, of course. And yeah, I feel like there are some things to learn with this character. There are some things to improve on, but overall, he really doesn't take way too much time to become better than the average person, which is really what this all focuses upon. And there you go. That's the continuation of the list, and that's the end of the list. Of course, if you want to see the top 5 highest skill cap heroes, you can click right here anywhere on the screen. Of course, again, I can try to put up a card, some annotations. Click on that, check out the top 5 highest skill cap heroes, and tell me what you guys were thinking. I was kind of expecting Bastion myself, but some of the other people, I really wasn't expecting way too much until I looked up this list. And of course, in the description below, I will link this list if you want to look at it. And of course, in the previous video, I have the list linked as well, so you can check it out either way. Anyways, though, guys, leave a like if you enjoyed, and as always, have a wonderful day.